is true success in life, when you become part of somebody else's testimony.
As one of the most inspiring speakers in the market today, Steve Hopper brings a fresh and powerful presence to the professional speaking industry. Steve has delivered hundreds of presentations at corporate events, leadership and business conferences, personal development seminars, high schools and universities, churches, and even correctional facilities. With his life-shifting keynote seminars and workshops, Steve leaves his audience with an overwhelming desire to want more, to do more, and to become more.
I want to talk to you about taking your business and your life to the next level.
This guy is a beast, man. He will take your business to the next stratosphere.
This guy is unbelievable, amazing speaker.
Yeah, I think Steve is on par with the T.D. Jakes and the Les Browns and the Grant Cardones of the world.
He's been featured on TV, radio, and in several magazines and publications.
Steve Hopper joins me today to talk about how he went from prison to having a purpose.
As the author of From Prison to Purpose, he has inspired the masses through his personal story of turning a setback into a comeback and winning the most important game of all, life. Please help me welcome international speaker and influence coach, Steve Hopper.
Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Do me a favor and hop in the chat real quick and let me know where you are tuning in from. Would love to give you guys a shout out, see where everybody's hopping in from. I know we've got a decent crowd in here today, and here's my commitment to you over the next few minutes. There it is, Hudson, Florida. Love it. Tampa. Hey, Doug. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Bob. Hey, Melinda. Chicago. Awesome. Very good. Tampa, Fort Lee, New Jersey. All right. Rosie, welcome. Wanda is in Georgia. Love it. New York City. Good morning. All right. Lovey's in Wesley Chapel, Brooksville. Man, we got everybody popping in from everywhere. Lakeland. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Y'all, thank you for taking the time this morning. And my commitment to you is that I'm gonna make it worthwhile for you. I am going to give you everything I've got in the short period of time that we have together this morning. And I promise, if you pay attention, I'm gonna talk fast. If you listen fast, we're gonna stay together. And I promise, get those distractions out of the way, because I got a lot to share with y'all here this morning. And again, my goal is to deliver to you this morning some value that is going to hopefully help you step up your public speaking game, make some more money, have a bigger impact, influence, all of that good stuff. So without any further wait, let's jump right into this. Y'all, I believe that success in business and life is greatly dependent upon our ability to influence others in a positive way. Public speaking is a huge way for us to be able to go out and influence others. So over the next few minutes, I'm going to share with you why you should be out speaking to begin with, what you should be speaking about. A lot of people get up at the front of the room, don't really have a plan. Either they're talking about things they shouldn't be talking about, or they're not talking about the things they should be talking about. I see this all too often. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about where and how to get some more speaking opportunities. And I am even going to tell you this morning exactly how to structure your next presentation and every single presentation that you do moving forward. Now, so that you all are not furiously taking notes, I want you to stay with me, pay attention, all that good stuff. If you stay until the end, I will email you all of the slides. That's right. If you stay until the very end, I will email you all of the slides. So you don't have to worry about taking a bunch of notes and getting carpal tunnel syndrome and all that good stuff. All right. So what I'm going to share with you this morning, if you implement it, if you follow it and you implement it, I promise you it will triple your revenue. It will triple your level of exposure, and it will triple your influence and your impact out in the marketplace. That is my big promise to you this morning. So before I jump into all this content and share all these nuggets with you, I want to take you on a quick journey, tell you a quick story, because I know there are some people popping in this morning that may not know who I am. My name is Steve Hopper. I'm an international speaker, author, and coach. I grew up in Tampa, Florida, wanted to play football. It was what I was going to do with my life. But I had the natural talent and the skill and all of that, got into high school, and the opportunities were there for the taking. But one night, my senior year in high school, I would make a split-second decision that would change the course of my life forever. I went to a party my senior year in high school, and at this party, a big fight broke out between my friend and some other people, and it was just an all-out brawl, big, huge fight. We were all at this party drinking and doing what we had no business doing at 16 and 17 years old. Well, somebody yelled cops, and everybody, ran to their cars and left, right? We didn't think anything of it at that moment. It was another fight, another party. We'd been there before, but this was going to be different than any other occasion in the past, because 3 days later, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Department showed up at my parents' house here in Tampa, Florida, with a warrant for my arrest. One of the teens that I had hit during that Friday night fight had slipped into a coma. At that moment, everything changed. It was almost like the clock stopped ticking in my life. My dad turned me into the county jail, and what he didn't know at that time was that he wasn't even going to be able to bond me out, because they revoked my bond because they didn't know if this young man was going to live or if he was going to die. So my senior year in high school, I sat in the county jail for 90 days waiting to find out what my fate was going to be, waiting to find out if they were going to charge me with murder or if they were going to charge me with attempted murder. I called home about 90 days in, and my mom answered the phone crying and told me that the young man had come out of the coma and that he was going to live. And y'all, it was the best news that I'd ever heard in my life up until that time. But when I speak at our high schools and our middle schools and our colleges, I try to impart on our youth that when we make bad choices in life, there are almost always bad consequences attached to those bad choices. And to make a long story short for y'all here today, the consequences for me for that one split-second decision were going to be great. At 17 years old, they sentenced me to 10 years in Florida State Prison. Nothing in life had prepared me for the world that I was entering. I was 17 years old. Nothing my coaches, teachers, parents, nobody had taught me anything growing up in life that would prepare me for where I was going. I went to one of the worst prisons in the state of Florida at the time. The gang violence was daily. Riots were weekly. I fought for my life on numerous occasions, watched people stabbed to death and beat to death right in front of me. If I could explain hell on earth, I would say it was the place that I was at. It was about a year into my incarceration. It was lights out time, and that steel door slammed shut on that prison cell, sealing me in for the night. And there I was in the pitch darkness, so dark I could not see a foot in front of my face. And this particular night, the weight of the world just came crashing in on me. It was, I felt every emotion that you could imagine, feelings of hopelessness, helplessness, fear, remorse, regret. I was 1 year into a 10-year sentence, and it had been hell. I didn't think I was going to survive the next 9. And as these emotions consumed me, I crouched down in the corner of the cell, pulled my knees tight to my chest, and began to cry. And for the first time in my life, I contemplated suicide. As I sat there in the corner of that cell crying, I felt like my life had no meaning, and I felt like it had no purpose. And as I sat there contemplating taking my own life, I all of a sudden remembered something. I remembered something my grandfather shared with me when I was probably about 10 years old. My grandfather was a Christian, and I used to spend my summers at my grandparents' house. And he was always preaching at me during those summer visits, trying to impart some wisdom into me. And, I didn't want to hear it. I let it go in one ear and out the other. I had my own agenda at that age and during that time of my life. And I didn't want to hear it. But he said something to me one summer that grabbed my attention. And he said, son, he said, just promise me one thing. And I said, yeah, Granddaddy, what is it? He said, promise me that if you're ever at a dark moment in life and your back's against the wall and you don't feel like you have any way out, promise me that you will drop to your knees immediately and cry out for Jesus. And I said, okay, Granddaddy, sure, whatever you say. Y'all, I didn't think about that again until that night in that cell. And that memory of him sharing that with me, that seed he had planted with me all those years ago, came to fruition. And I was there, darkest moment of my life, back against the wall, no way out. So I spun around on my knees and I laid my face on that cold, hard, dirty concrete prison floor, and I cried like I've never cried before in my life. And when I called out his name, in an instant, everything changed. All the feelings of hopelessness and fear and regret, all of it subsided, and they were replaced with feelings of hope, peace, and purpose. I didn't come here this morning to preach to y'all by any means. I came to talk to y'all about public speaking. But I will share this with you, that it wasn't that night on the beach when I took that swing that changed the course of my life forever. It was that night in that cell when I called out his name that changed the course of my life forever. But, you know, they didn't come and open the gates and say, hey, Steve, good job. You've accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior. And we're gonna open the gates and let you out, because we know that you're going to be a changed man from this point forth. No, it didn't happen like that. I still had 9 years to do. And I knew that if I was going to go do something great with my life, I needed to develop from the inside out. So I began to eat, sleep, drink every ounce of personal development that I could get my hands on. And you know, I ended up doing 7 years on that 10-year sentence. I went in at 17. I got out when I was 24. Excuse me. And God was with me every step of the way. This is an actual photograph of me the day I walked out of prison. Everything I owned was in the plastic bag that you see there in my hand. And you know, had the world ahead of me, right? Since then, I have been blessed with the opportunity to speak on hundreds of stages around the world to groups from all walks of life. We do our own workshops, our own seminars as well, just helping professionals go to the next level in their businesses and in their lives. I've been featured on the cover of magazines, on television, radio, and I don't share any of that with y'all to boast by any means, because for those of you that know me and know me personally, you know my heart. I don't share any of that with you to boast. I share that with you because it's been a long journey. There has been many ups and downs along the way. When I got out of prison, I went into corporate America and began to have some success there, and was laid off in 2008, lost my job and just about everything else. But it was a blessing in disguise, because it forced me into entrepreneurship. It forced me to become an entrepreneur, which ultimately led me down the path to where I am now. You see, part of my story is that I wasn't sharing my story when I got out of prison. The devil had convinced me that sharing my story was a bad thing, that it was going to close doors, prevent opportunities. And so for the longest time, I didn't tell my story. When I went into corporate America and when I became an entrepreneur, I wasn't out sharing that story. And God stepped in boldly several years ago and sent me some very powerful messages that I won't jump into today with you all. But God revealed to me that it was time that he wanted me to go and start sharing that story. And when I began to go and start sharing that story, that was what created not only the launch of Steve Hopper International and all the speaking and magazines and TV and everything else there that you saw, but it led me right to what my calling and purpose was in this life. You know, I realized that my story did matter, that it had the potential to impact and change lives. It had the potential to create not only an impact right here in this world right now, but that it had an opportunity to create an eternal impact as well, because I realized as well that my story was just part of a much bigger story, which was God's story. You know, I realized that that my story was important and that it mattered, and so does yours. Your story has the opportunity to impact and change lives. Your story also has eternal impact as well. So we're going to talk about how we can get those beautiful stories of yours out to the masses through the art of public speaking. You know, with any message, with any company message, with any personal message, with any business that you have, any nonprofit organization that you have, any mission that you have, you know, the key is marketing. Somebody told me a long time ago, the shift will take place when you start to see yourself as a professional marketer that does real estate, as a professional marketer that does financial advising, as a professional marketer that does coaching or speaking, as a financial or as a professional marketer that sells health insurance or life insurance. The shift will really take place in your business and in your life when you begin to see yourself as that professional marketer that does this. You know, I think it was Bill Gates that was interviewed one time and said, you know, they asked him if you lost everything and all you had was a nickel left, what would you do with it? And he told him that he would invest it in marketing. Okay. So it's that important. So there are a lot of ways to market your business. I know many of you are out doing some of these things right now, networking, going out to networking groups and promoting your business, promoting on social media, online, things like SEO and email and different things to that effect. And then, of course, there is speaking. Now, I do a lot of coaching. I work with a lot of business professionals, and I've seen a lot of business plans, and I've looked at a lot of marketing plans. And I can tell you this, most people do not have public speaking even anywhere in their marketing plan or strategy. And it's one of the biggest tools that you have available to you to get your message out in front of more people. Public speaking will get you that additional exposure that you need to establish your brand. It's going to help you build your credibility as an expert when you have the opportunity to get up at the front of the room and share your expertise and share your knowledge. It does brand you and build your credibility. It's going to help you build a larger network and a larger following. Guys, listen, if you have an audience, if you have people in front of you, you have opportunity. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. If there's no one following you and there's no one listening to you and there's no one seeing you, then your exposure level is at an all-time low. And so one of the things that I really work with people is really helping them get more of that exposure necessary to get their message out to the masses. So public speaking is going to help you build that larger network and that following. It's going to provide social proof that you're the real deal. So when people see on social media that you're out speaking and sharing and educating, it gives you social proof. It's going to build your confidence. The more times that you get in front of an audience and share, your confidence level is going to gain and get higher every single time. It's going to build your communication skills. When you're in a one-on-one sales atmosphere or when you're on the phone selling, whatever, your communication skills are going to get better by public speaking, by learning how to do this, by learning the art of public speaking. You're going to close more deals, even in the one-to-ones. You're going to have the opportunity to inspire others. I mean, this is huge. It's absolutely huge to have the opportunity to go out and inspire other people, to lift other people up. You know, people don't remember what you did. They remember how you made them feel, you know? And so there's another saying to this is people don't think, they feel. And so when you can reach people's emotions, then you have done something extremely powerful, and public speaking will enable you to do that. It's going to generate a lot of leads. Everybody wants leads. Everybody wants money. Everybody wants opportunities. And so public speaking will definitely do that for you. So if there's all these benefits that come along with public speaking, then Why aren't we doing more of it? Why aren't we out public speaking on a regular basis? Well, there's a lot of reasons that people aren't out speaking more often. One is fear. Number one fear in the world. But here's what I'm going to tell you this morning. It has nothing to do with fear. There's nothing to be scared of. You know that. There's nothing to be scared of when you get up at the front of the room. You're not speaking in a pit of alligators. All right. You're not going to lose your life when you get up and speak. There's no real danger to public speaking. So therefore, there is no fear. What it is anxiety. There's an anxiety that comes along with public speaking. People are get anxiety about being judged and looked at, and do I have anything to say? Am I pretty enough? My hair, my voice, all of these things that everybody struggles with. Trust me, everybody struggles with it. So there is no fear of public speaking, y'all. That is a myth. It's anxiety. And so part of overcoming that anxiety is preparation. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about with you guys today. We're going to get you prepped and ready to go. A lot of people don't believe that they have a powerful message to share. And I'm going to contest that belief as well, because you do have a powerful message to share. You have got life experience that nobody else in here has. You have experiences on a personal and a professional level. You have learned some very valuable things in this life, haven't you? Through some of the struggles, through the ups and downs, you have learned a lot of really powerful lessons. So you do have a powerful message to share that will uplift people and inspire people. And I can pull that out of you and show you exactly what it is. People don't believe that they have a powerful story to share. You do have a powerful story to share because it's yours. It's unique. It's nobody else's. God brought you into this world with a purpose and a plan for your life. And maybe you're not fulfilling that purpose or plan right now. Maybe it's been a rough journey, or maybe you're just stagnant, or maybe you are fulfilling that purpose. Either which way, your story is powerful. Maybe you don't believe that you have reached a specific level of success, and why would anybody want to listen to you? Well, it goes back to the second one, because no matter what your bank account says, you have survived some things. You've learned some powerful things, and that is extremely valuable. It doesn't matter what your level of success is or what your bank account says. You're not sure where to go and speak. Trisha popped in and said, how can you get a speaking gig? Trisha, we are definitely going to cover that, so make sure you don't go anywhere. So a lot of people don't know where to go to get these speaking opportunities. So we're going to talk about that. I'm not sure how to structure or deliver your message. We're going to talk about that as well. Or maybe you just have lost your mojo. You've been so hard on yourself. You've been through so much, and the devil has beat you down. You have beat yourself down. Other people have beat you down, and you just feel like, man, being up at the front of the room is the last thing I need to do right now. Well, listen, our goal is to help you get that mojo back, because you're beautiful. You're amazing. You've got amazing information that the world is waiting to hear. So with that said, why are you here? Hop in the chat for me real quick and let me know why you showed up this morning. What is it that you are hoping to gain from this? Why are you here in this training? All right. Blow up that chat, y'all. So what should we talk about when we go out and speak? This is very, very important. Well, we've got 3 goals, 3 objectives anytime that we go out and speak. All right. I'm going to go over those 3 objectives with you. Our first objective is that we want to engage and connect, right? So we want to engage and connect our audience. Now, the way we're going to do that is we're going to do that with our story. We're going to do that with our personal stories. I can't tell you how many people get up at the front of the room and do not share their story. Now, our lives are made up of many defining moments in our lives. Little defining moments, big defining moments. There's defining moments that were good, defining moments that were bad, and there were defining moments that were downright ugly. And so in each of our lives, however, there was a defining moment. There was one defining moment. If you look back at your life right now, I guarantee you there is that one defining moment that probably made the biggest shift for you in your life. And so you want to make note of that, because that is going to be something that we can totally build around. All right. So we want to share that story. A lot of people don't get up and share their story, their struggle, their journey. It's one of the reasons that I share my story every time I present. Some of you that are watching this have probably heard my story more times than you can count. And I continue to share it. Why? Because it's the story. It's our story, y'all. And your story is important because it gives you an opportunity to connect with your audience, to engage your audience with your story. Do you have to have a prison story? Absolutely not. You can have other defining moments in your life that have shaped you. So your story is important. Your story is not like mine. It's not like anybody else's on here. It's your story. And it is that important. So make no mistake, one of the most powerful ways that we can engage and connect with our audience is to share our story. We want to take them on a journey. Stories are entertaining. Stories give information. Stories allow people to know who you are, to know kind of some of the stuff that you've been through, that you've experienced, that you've overcome, and they connect with you because of that. You want to be authentic. You want to be down to earth. You don't want to polish yourself up to look like you've got it all together, because that's not relatable. It's not relatable because nobody has it all together. Nobody has it all figured out. Nobody is without struggle. Nobody is above any of that, right? So by you being authentic, down to earth, and not trying to place yourself like you have no worries. No, listen, we all have struggles. We all have worries. You want to be authentic. You want to be down to earth when you share these stories. There's a structure that I use for sharing a story. I call it my Spider-Man structure, because if you were to go watch the Spider-Man movie, it's a perfect structure of how we should share our stories. If you're watching the movie, and I'm talking about the one with Tobey Maguire, not all the other ones, the movie starts out, they're showing you who Spider-Man is, who Tobey Maguire is. He's the dorky kid. He likes the girl, but he doesn't have the courage to talk to her. He's just kind of introverted, isolated, kind of nerdy, all of that kind of stuff, right? And then he gets bit by this spider, right? And this spider turns him into this superhuman, turns him into Spider-Man, and now he can do all these crazy things. And then the rest of the movie is about what it was like after that defining moment when he got bit by the spider, and what it was like being Spider-Man. So again, our stories are shared in the same way. What was the defining moment? Right smack dab in the middle. What was life like leading up to the defining moment? And what was life like after that defining moment? If you're to go back and look at how I shared my story with you this morning, that's exactly what I did. I gave you a little backstory growing up, playing football, defining moment, hit this kid on the beach. I get sent to prison, find Christ in prison, and then what was life like after? And so, of course, I gave you a Reader's Digest version of that entire story, and that's what we're going to help you do, as well as we help you cultivate your signature presentations. This is one of the things that I work on with everybody that goes through our Speak Like a Boss boot camp. We really work with you on structuring that story, because one of the worst mistakes that you can make is getting up on stage and dumping all of your baggage onto your audience, getting up and sharing too much about your story, because then your audience feels weighted down. They feel heavy. They don't feel inspired. They feel They feel heavy when they walk out of your presentation. So there is an art to structuring your story and giving those key details. We speak. The second reason that we speak is to educate. So what's the message? What are you going to teach? What are some things that you've learned or gained, knowledge, expertise that you can share with your audience? What's the end result going to be for your audience? And you're going to share three to five key things, 3 to 5 bullets in your presentation. You're going to elaborate on those bullets as you get up and speak. And so again, what is it that you're going to share with your audience? Are you going to teach them about finances? If you're a financial expert, are you going to give them 3 to 5 key things that they need to be doing right now in their life to ensure their financial future? If you're a health expert, are you going to share with them 3 to 5 things right now that they need to be doing to improve their health? If you are in health insurance, maybe you're going to share with them 3 to 5 things that they need to know about health insurance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And guys, I want to point something out to you here that's very important to understand. Your speech doesn't always have to be about your product or your service. It can just be about the valuable lessons that you learned in your journey. Because we all need to be reminded of certain things. You know, maybe you've overcome something in your life, and you're gonna share 3 to 5 key principles of how you overcame that. You know, perseverance, faith, you know, whatever. Like maybe you're gonna share with them some things that you learned that help you in life, and in hopes that it will help them. And I guarantee you there will be people in your audience that will come up to you at the end and be like, oh my gosh, that was exactly what I needed today. It happens every time. Just by you sharing something that doesn't even have anything to do with your business. See, a lot of times we think we have to get up and speak about our business in order to get business. No. If we get up and speak about something of value and teach something of value and share something of value, something from our hearts that inspires and lifts up our audience and maybe even teaches them something or reminds them of something that maybe they haven't been doing in their life that they need to get refocused on, then the byproduct of that is that they may end up doing business with you anyways. So I want you to keep that in mind. So the second thing we want to do is we want to speak to educate. And then the third objective that we have when we get up at the front of the room is we speak to inspire. We want to inspire our audience to take some kind of action. We want them to be different, to go do something different, to be different when they leave after they hear us speak than what they were before they heard us speak. So we want to implement some value onto them that inspires them to take action in their life, to do something they're not doing right now, to go seek out their purpose, to go do this, to go do whatever it is that's related to your life lessons, your message, what you're trying to get across. Most professionals do not deliver a solid call to action. Maybe we want to engage them in some way, shape, or form so that we can, do business with them. And so a lot of people don't deliver a solid call to action. They don't get people to engage with them. You know, they may close out their speech by saying, let's say if a real estate agent, if you know anybody who wants to buy or sell a house, give them my name. Guys, that's not a call to action, because they're going to walk out of that networking group or that meeting or whatever, and they're back at life. Like they're back in their own life. They're back worried about their own business. They're back worried about their own stuff. Right. And so unless an opportunity just drops in their lap to give somebody your name, they're not going to seek out that opportunity. And so we got to get better at delivering more solid call to actions that get people to take action right there on the spot. Now, the only way that you're going to accomplish number 3 is if you did the first 2. is if you did the first two, if you connected and engaged your audience personally, and then you educated them, then you're going to have the opportunity to inspire them to some kind of action. If you don't engage and connect with them, you're not going to inspire them. If you engage and connect with them, but you don't educate them, you don't provide them any other value other than your story, then you're not going to probably inspire them to take action. So the first two are just that important. In order to inspire them to take action, you've got to accomplish the first two. So how do we structure it? Pay close attention, y'all. I'm going to run through this very, very quickly. This is something that we spend a lot of time on in our Speak Like a Boss bootcamp, because this is the structure, and we help you cultivate that structure. We help you fine tune that structure. We help you with every single element of this structure so that you know exactly where you're headed, what you're doing, and you're going to go crush it from the front of the room. But I'm giving you this powerful outline today because if you were to follow this outline in every single presentation that you do moving forward, you will kill it from the front of the room. Every single time, you will kill it from the front of the room. So the first thing we want to do, the first part of this outline, is we want to open with a powerful opening statement. This statement is going to be related in some way, shape, or form to the content that we're going to go over in our presentation. So the first thing you do is open with your powerful opening statement. The second thing you're going to do is you're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. That's right. You're going to tell them what you're going to tell them. No, you're not going to go into great detail because you're going to do that in your presentation, but you're going to give your audience an idea right off the bat what you're going to share with them. Your audience wants to know what's in it for me, right? What are you going to share with me? What kind of value are you going to provide to me? What's in it for me? So we're going to let them know right off the bat what we're going to provide to them in our presentation. Again, we're not sharing our bullets with them. We're not going over those bullets with them at this point, but we are going to give them a quick idea of what it is that we're going to share with them. So I did this again today, guys. I follow this in every single presentation that I do. Excuse me. I opened with a statement. Success in business and life is greatly dependent. You know, public speaking can absolutely change your life. It gives you the opportunity to impact others, inspire others, influence, you know, all of those things, right? So over the next few minutes, we're going to go over where you should go to get speaking opportunities, what you should be talking about. Like I told you what I was going to tell you in this presentation. And before I jumped into it, what did I do? I shared my story with you. So the number 3 thing is that we're going to share our stories. We're going to give a Reader's Digest version of our stories. So we open with a powerful statement. We tell our audience what we're going to tell them, and then we share our story. The 4th thing we're going to do in this outline is we're going to jump into our content, our 3 to 5 bullets. That's what we're going to jump into. And marrying your story and transitioning your story into your bullets is very, very easy. Again, that's something we work on wholeheartedly in our Speak Like a Boss bootcamp is helping people marry the story to the content. Your story is always going to marry your content because your story is in some way, shape, or form going to be related to your content. Because all the content that you're delivering, you learned, experienced, figured out at some point in your life. So therefore, you know, it's going to be related to your story. You know, obviously my story led me to public speaking. And so it's easy to marry my story to today, you know, because as a public speaker, I've learned a lot about public speaking that I'm sharing with you. So I'm able to marry my story into my content. You're going to be able to do the same thing. you're going to be able to marry your story into your content. Guys, you're never going to get up and talk about anything you don't know about. You're never going to talk about anything that you haven't experienced. You're never going to get up and talk about something that didn't happen to you or that you don't know about personally. So your personal story is always going to connect and marry to your content. After we've delivered those 3 to 5 bullets, we're going to do a quick recap of what we went over in our presentation. And so it's going to go something like this. So, hey, everybody, and you can even say recap. Hey, everybody, just to recap, if you want to be a person of influence, then you want to do this, this, and this. All right. Then we're going to deliver a challenge to our audience. We're going to challenge our audience to do something with the information that we just provided them in our presentation. I challenge you to go out and address this aspect of your personal development. I challenge you to go out and get a speaking opportunity. I challenge you to go out today after we get off of this virtual training. I challenge you to go and start trying to lay out your presentation, your next presentation. I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to do that. So we've gone over this content with them. We've delivered this information to them. And now we're going to just quickly, simply challenge our audience to actually put that information into action. And then we're going to make our offer, or we're going to call to action. All right. This is where we are going to, in some way, shape, or form, give our audience an opportunity to connect with us on a deeper level, to engage with us at a higher level. And so I want you to think about this for a second. If you go out and speak and there's 100 people in the audience, you got an opportunity, you get up at the front of the room, and what is your guarantee that you're ever going to see those people again, be in front of those people again, have an opportunity to engage with those people again? There isn't one. There really isn't one. But if you deliver some form of call to action that's going to engage them with you, something you're going to give them, and in return, they're going to give you their connection. They're going to give you their contact information in order to receive this thing that you're going to be giving to them. If you're a coach or a speaker or whatever, and you've got an opportunity to engage with them, in coaching or something to that effect, then you can make an offer right there at the front of the room. If you have a book, if you're a published author, your offer can be, come to the back of the room and get my book. But something needs to happen. You need to deliver. Guys, I see this so often. Professionals getting up and speaking, and they're done speaking. Thank you for having me. And that's it. It's over. They didn't capitalize on the audience that they were in front of. You didn't capitalize in a way that gives you the opportunity to engage that audience further later on down the road. Some of the biggest sales are made long after you have spoken. I had a CEO of a company that, I spoke and I gave something away. And people had to give me their email address and phone number and all of that kind of stuff in order to receive this free thing. And he was one of them. And so, he was in my system at this point. And so as I was sending things out and talking about my speaking and promoting and doing all of these things, eventually he got to a point where he needed a speaker for his company and hired me. And that led to a lot of money for me down the road. And so if I wouldn't have made that offer, that call to action at the end of that speech, he would have never gotten in my system. I would have had no further contact or communication with him. And I would have never gotten that huge opportunity that came a few months later. And so again, you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So if we don't engage them with some kind of call to action or offer after we speak, then we've lost future opportunities to engage them. Does that make sense, what I'm saying? So, again, one of the things that we really work on with people is helping you cultivate an offer or a call to action that you're going to implement into your speeches. And this is not you being a slimy salesperson. No, this is you offering an extended level of value to your audience. And the people that want to take advantage of that extended level of value will do it. And the ones that don't, won't. But if you don't have that extended level of value available, then nobody will take it. There's no opportunity there. All right. We never want to close our speech with our offer or our call to action. So after you've made that offer, whatever it is, or that delivered that call to action, then we want to close with a powerful statement, one more quick, powerful, short story that closes out and brings everything kind of full circle that you spoke about with them. Okay. Very, very important that we do this. So, so that's the overall structure of a presentation, y'all. I use this structure in every speech and presentation that I do, whether I'm doing it offline, online, at a networking group. It doesn't matter. I'm going to follow that exact structure, and you should too, because it will deliver results. It will make you a better speaker. It will make you more professional from the front of the room. It will keep you focused and on track, and it will ultimately help you deliver the value that you want to deliver when you get to the front of the room, and the value that your audience is hoping to receive. So really quickly, where and how do we get some more of these speaking opportunities? Rule number one, watch out for conferences and events that are taking place. You guys are on social media, you see events, conferences, things like that all the time. You've got Facebook events. Guys, you can go on meetup.com, eventbrite.com. Rotary clubs are always looking for speakers. Networking groups are looking for speakers. There are so many opportunities. I've got RGA Network on there. RGA is a networking organization here in the Tampa Bay area. When you join RGA, become a member, you get an opportunity to speak at all. You can speak at all of the RGA groups in Tampa. What a huge opportunity. I think they've got 20 something groups right now, just in the Tampa Bay area alone. And you can speak at all 20 of them, right? So there are many opportunities right in your community, right around you to speak. Again, if you go on Facebook and you look up Facebook events, you'll see conferences. If you want to speak on leadership, Google leadership conferences, find out where they're happening, where they're going on. Do a little bit of research, y'all. Figure out who it is that is running that conference, putting that conference on. Go down that rabbit hole of finding out the contact information for that person. Listen, I know some of y'all have stalked people on Facebook. All right. Some of y'all have done some serious Facebook stalking. Do that on speaking opportunities, right? Figure out where they're at, who's running it, and how to contact and reach out to that person. Rule number two is you get what you ask for. So when you're out networking, if you're a real estate agent and you're tired of having the same old spiel, anybody wants to buy or sell a house, call me. No, let your 30-second commercial be about you speaking. Hey, y'all, this week I'm asking for speaking opportunities. I'd love to go and speak. This is what I speak about. Please set me up some opportunities. All right. You get what you ask for. This is a script that I worked up that we just copy and paste, that we send. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. My name is Steve Hopper. I'm a professional speaker, author, and coach. I noticed that you have an upcoming event named this on this date. I speak about the ability to influence and performing at a higher level. If you think this topic is one that your organization would benefit from hearing about at your upcoming event or any of your future events, I'd love to discuss that opportunity further. Copy and paste. I can send this out to 20 different people in a matter of moments. Okay. Collecting, again, finding out who's in charge of these events. We get this sent out to them, and we look for those opportunities. again, there's going to be times you don't even get any response. But the answer is always no unless you ask. So start asking for speaking opportunities. Start seeking them out. Rule number 3, start dropping some value on the internet. Y'all, you have a tool available in front of you that gives you huge access to the masses, huge access. You go to a networking group, you got maybe 20, 30, 40 people there in front of you. You hop on the internet, you got 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 40,000, 400,000. Sky is the limit. Start utilizing the internet to your advantage. And you're going to do that by hopping on video and dropping some value on the internet. Start getting on the internet and speaking about some valuable stuff. People will begin to listen. They will begin to follow you. And of course, you're going to be putting in there that you speak and that you're a speaker and that you're looking for speaking opportunities. And those doors will start to come. Those doors will start to open. Those opportunities will start to come. So, take the opportunity, list a tip that you could go online and speak about. Share something. Listen, a lot of people think that, I don't have enough to share, right? Like content. Oh my gosh, what am I going to talk about? Right. So I'm reading this daily devotional on leadership from John Maxwell right now. And starting February 1st, I'm actually going to hop on video every single day for the month of February online. And I'm going to share just a quick video about what I'm learning each day about leadership through this book. And so this is not coming from me. This is coming from John Maxwell. All right. So again, all of your content doesn't have to come from you. You can hop on video tomorrow and share something you learned about public speaking in this training today. Hey, everybody, I attended Steve Hopper's training yesterday on public speaking, and I learned this, and I haven't been doing this, and I'm going to start doing this, or etc. And I just wanted to share this with you and hoping it would bring you some value as well. I'm looking for more speaking opportunities. Keep me in mind if you have an upcoming event. I'm polishing up my public speaking game right now. God bless. I love you. I hope this video was valuable for you. You shared a tip and a nugget that you learned today. Are videos as effective as lives? I like to record and share across sites. Recorded videos, live videos, do videos. Live videos are great. Live videos, because of the social media algorithms, they tend to get put in front of more people. That's why lives are important. People like the aspect of you being live. They like the aspect of knowing that they're in real time with you and they're not watching something that's pre-recorded, but they both work. They both work well. Do lives and pre-record videos. They're both important. All right. Number 4, speak for free. Does that mean you always speak for free? No. But don't pass up opportunities if they don't have a budget for a speaker. But don't leave empty-handed. Again, some of your biggest sales are made long after you have spoken. When I say don't leave empty-handed, it goes back to that call to action, y'all. Make sure you're delivering some kind of call to action. Make sure you're offering them something, some opportunity for them to engage with you further at a higher level. And in order for them to receive that engagement, they've got to give you their information. They've got to connect with you in that way so that you can continue to be in their space, so that they continue to have access to you. Okay, so speak for free. Don't worry about the money. The money will come. And the more you speak, the more confident you get, the more you polish it up, then you can start charging. You can start charging to come out and speak and share your expertise. Speak everywhere and take lots of pictures and videos when you do it. When you get up and speak at a networking group, have somebody take your cell phone and take pictures of you while you're speaking, or take little video clips of you speaking. Again, this is social proof. Now you can take those pictures, You can take those videos, you can post them and say, I had an opportunity to speak at this group today. I talked about this. If you're looking for a speaker at your next event, reach out to me. I'd love to connect with you. Okay. So again, these are strategies that are going to help you get more speaking opportunities. Get on some podcast. Podcasting is a huge thing right now, y'all. Get on podcast. Podcasters are always looking to have guests. So one of the things that we work on again in our Speak Like a Boss bootcamp is cultivating your story and your presentation so that when you get on a podcast and they say, tell us who you are, tell us your story, you're able to share that story eloquently and you're able to deliver a message on a podcast that's going to engage them. It's going to bring them value. That's going to get them again to want to connect with you after that podcast is over. Podcasting is huge. It's absolutely huge. We just interviewed a gentleman a few nights ago on a podcast. This is going to launch here in a couple weeks, and unbelievable. This guy was a former Satanist that God pulled back to him. And when you hear this story, you're going to be blown away. This guy has hundreds of thousands of followers on social media. So just by interviewing him, he's obviously going to share that interview in front of his audience, hundreds of thousands of people, which is going to do what? It's going to bring exposure to the people that interviewed him on the podcast, to the podcast itself. So again, podcasting is a huge tool to get your message and to get more speaking opportunities. A guaranteed way to get speaking opportunities, do your own event. I learned this one several years ago, and it changed my life. There's nothing at all that stops you from doing your own events. You plan an event, you promote the event, you invite people to come to the event. Voila, you have an audience and you are the speaker. Guaranteed way to get speaking opportunities is to do your own events. Here's the eighth and final rule, and that is you need to develop a signature presentation. You need to have a presentation that you can do anywhere, at any place, at any time. Because when you develop a signature presentation, then you are going to cultivate that presentation. You are going to know that speech and that presentation like the back of your hand. You will be able to do it in your sleep. You would be able to do it without slides. You will be able to do it if somebody hands you a microphone on the spot and says, get up and do your speech. You would be able to roll through it flawlessly because it's your signature presentation. When you are reaching out and you are prospecting for speaking opportunities, you need to have a signature presentation so that you can tell them, this is what I talk about. Here is a video of me doing this presentation. This is what your audience is going to gain from this presentation, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to accomplish that by having a signature presentation for you that you can deliver anywhere at any time in front of anyone. This is something that we work on hardcore in our Speak Like a Boss bootcamp. We've got some exciting things happening, and I'm going to take a couple minutes and I want to share with you guys an opportunity that is going to be absolutely life-changing for anybody that decides to take advantage of it. Several years ago, I created a public speaking bootcamp, developing public speakers. And we've had so many people that have gone through this program. It was it's a 90-day program, masterminds throughout. I'm talking about hardcore training, development of the signature presentation, just everything from how you're opening your presentation to your story, what your content and your bullets are going to be, what you should be doing to elaborate and on those bullets and bring those bullets home. We help you develop your offer and your call to action, and ultimately how you're closing out your presentation. We work on, public speaking skills, presentation from the front of the room, things you should be doing, things you should not be doing from the front of the room, how to really deliver extremely powerfully. The things that are taught in this 90-day boot camp take people from being scared, having anxiety about getting up at the front of the room and delivering a presentation, to being confident speakers that are crushing it. I mean, we have people that go through this boot camp that, maybe are in RGA, and they go through this boot camp and then they go to an RGA meeting and they get up and they do their 10-minute presentation after going through this boot camp. And people come up to them at the end and go, "Oh my gosh, what happened to you? I've heard you present before. I don't know what happened to you, but wow, that was the best presentation I've ever heard." This happens all the time. So extremely powerful 90-day program. At the end of the program, we have people compete. Everybody competes, and we choose a winner. And those people get to speak on stage at one of our events, one of our upcoming events. This 90-day program, we usually limit it to about 12 people. And we usually charge anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 for our 90-day boot camp. But my team and I got together this past year, and this program has been so powerful and so effective that we wanted to get it in front of more people. We wanted more people to have the opportunity to go through this boot camp. So we sat down and we got in the lab and we strategized on how we could do that. How not only could we, reach more people with this boot camp and get more people to go through this and reap the benefits of it, but we wanted to make it even more affordable for people as well. And so what we came up with and what we worked on and what we cultivated and created was our virtual Speak Like a Boss, a boot camp. And in this virtual Speak Like a Boss boot camp, we've taken literally everything that we do in our 90-day boot camp, and we've condensed it down into 30 days. And we do it with you virtually. And so therefore, you're not limited by time and space. You're not attending all-day masterminds over a course of 90 days. If you're out of state, you're not having to travel to Tampa to be part of the boot camps, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we condense this 90-day boot camp down to 30 days, and we're doing it virtually so that you're receiving all of the content, everything, all the training, all of it, and you're still getting that personal interaction engagement. We're still working with you personally on cultivating all of your stuff. So what you get in the virtual boot camp is we're going to do just that. We're going to help you create your signature presentation. We're going to work with you on developing your story. Like I mentioned earlier, there's an art to sharing your story. You don't want to tell too much and you don't want to tell too little. There's an art to developing that. We figured out that art, and that's what we teach in this boot camp. We're going to help you develop your bullets. Again, a lot of people aren't out doing more speaking because they don't know what to get up and talk about. They don't know what to get up and share. We're going to figure that out with you in the boot camp. We're going to help you cultivate those bullets that are going to impact, influence, inspire your audience and bring major value to your audience. These are going to be things that are inside of you that are going to come out that we're going to pull out that are going to help you to deliver that value. We're going to help you develop your call to action in the virtual boot camp. What are you going to offer? What are you going to call to action at the end of your presentation? Where are you going to send them? What are you going to offer to them? We're going to pull that out of you too. We're going to help you develop that in such a way that you're going to grow your following. You're going to grow the amount of people that are engaging with you after you speak. It also includes our playbook. Let me share that with you. We've created a playbook that that helps you outline every single presentation that you do. This comes to you in a PDF format. So you can print out this playbook over and over and over again. You will be able to use this playbook, this outline, for every presentation that you do for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life, you'll be able to use this outline and this playbook to structure every single one of your presentations. You know, there's so much more as well that comes along with this boot camp, training you on your speaking itself, you know, your body language, different things like that that are included in this 30-day boot camp. How it's going to be delivered to you. Obviously, this is we've condensed it down from 90 days to 30 days. What's going to happen is you're going to receive a video every single day for 30 days. These videos are literally 5 to 10 minutes long. So you're going to learn the key things that you need in 5 to 10 minutes. There's not going to be a lot of fluff. There's not going to be a lot of talking. We're going to get to the point in these videos and share with you exactly what you need to know from start to finish. We're going to walk you through in each one of these videos, developing that signature presentation. Again, they're short videos, weekly chunks, 5 to 10 minutes long. So they're not going to consume your day. You're not going to be sitting there a long time. You're going to have your playbook in front of you. You're going to have your 5 to 10 minute video, and you're going to do what needs to be done from that video, and you're moving on the next day. We're also going to be doing a Zoom each week live where you will be able to hop in and get any kind of assistance from me on where you're at in the virtual boot camp. The total value of this virtual boot camp is $1,997. As an added bonus, you're going to be part of a private Facebook group that's only people that are going through the Speak Like a Boss virtual boot camp with you. So it's a networking opportunity. You're going to get to connect with other people that are doing this with you. And there's going to be additional trainings in the Facebook group. You're going to be able to ask questions in the Facebook group. There's going to be all sorts of cool stuff that happens and is delivered to you through that private Facebook group. Excuse me. Another added bonus, you're going to get a private coaching session with me. So once you've gone through the 30 days and you've laid things out and you've got your presentation structured, you and I are going to have a coaching session together where I'm really going to sit down with you and, you know, make sure that we've dotted our I's and crossed our T's. And we're going to really discuss, you and I, how to get you and that presentation on some stages in front of some audiences, and how you're really, really going to captivate your following and grow your following, utilizing what we've done in the boot camp over the period of the 30 days. So again, here's what you receive in this virtual boot camp. You're going to get obviously the 30-day virtual boot camp valued at $1,997. You're going to get that private Facebook group. You're going to get that coaching session with me, and you're going to get the weekly Zooms that come along with it. Guys, these group Zooms are extremely valuable, because when somebody has a question in that group atmosphere and I answer that question, or I help them overcome that, then you are going to learn from their question. So again, these group Zooms are highly effective in helping you accomplish your goals. You know, what did it cost me to learn all of the things that get delivered in this boot camp? Y'all, thousands, countless hours, thousands upon thousands of dollars. You know, flying around the country, speaking in front of audiences. There's so many things that I've learned just through speaking that I implement into this boot camp with my students, that I can tell you, I've been through a ton of speaker trainings I've invested thousands of dollars in speaker trainings, and they didn't hold a candle to what we're delivering in this Speak Like a Boss boot camp. And so I always said, when I invested all that money in all those trainings and all those coaches and different things like that to better myself, I always said, when I create my programs, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna deliver more. I'm gonna be more engaged with my students. I'm really gonna make sure that when they walk out of there and they're done with it, that they have received, far more value than what they invested in it for. And so it's cost me a lot to give what I give in this program. I've invested a lot. If all it did was get your message in front of more people, would it be worth, $2,997? Absolutely. Of course it would. If it helped you make more sales this year, would it be worth it? Absolutely. Because here's the beautiful thing about knowledge: you don't lose it. So you wouldn't be investing in something that is consumable. You wouldn't be investing in something that loses value like a vehicle does. You would be investing in something that you would be able to use over and over and over and over and over and over again for the rest of your life, to make money, to build impact, to build influence. So if all it did was that, would it be worth it? Absolutely, 100%. So again, Speak Like a Boss virtual bootcamp, 30 days, everything we teach in the 90-day program, you're going to get in the 30-day program, the Facebook group, the coaching with me, the weekly group Zooms, again, $2,997. And you may be sitting here right now going, well, Steve, like the 90-day boot camp was $3,000. So I know you said that your team wanted to make it more affordable, for people. And so it's the same price. No, it's not, because you're going to get it today for $497. You're going to get the Speak Like a Boss Bootcamp virtual. You're going to get the Facebook group. You're going to get the coaching session with me. You're going to get the group, weekly group Zooms. At the end of the 30 days, you're going to have a signature presentation. You're going to be able to go out there, take on the world. You're going to know exactly how to get those speaking opportunities. You're going to be polished. You are going to be a rock star from the front of the room at the end of this boot camp. Now, here's the thing. We're going to limit this to 10 people today. Only the first 10 people that go and take advantage of this are going to have access to be part of this 30-day boot camp. And so here's my guarantee. Go through the program fully. If you don't feel you receive the value, I'm going to give you the money back, no questions asked. That's right. You can go through the whole program, 30 days, go through the whole program. If you don't feel like it was valuable to you, you reach out to me and say, Steve, I didn't receive any value from this, and I am going to give you your money back. So it's 100% risk-free. For those of you that take advantage of this today, there's also a mystery bonus. There is something that the people that join this virtual boot camp are going to receive. And here's what I'm going to tell you. The mystery bonus is more valuable than the entire cost of the program and all of the bonuses. I'm a man of faith. I believe in faith. I walk in faith. And so I figured I needed to throw some faith at y'all today and give you a mystery bonus. And I promise you this, that mystery bonus is going to be worth its weight in gold. So one last time, what you're going to get in this virtual Speak Like a Boss boot camp over the 30-day period is you're going to get the entire virtual boot camp, the same exact program that we do in our 90-day boot camp. That's $3,000. You're going to get the Facebook group. You're going to get the coaching with me. You're going to get the weekly Zoom calls. All of this, again, $3,000 investment. And y'all, that is playing it safe at $3,000, because I can tell you, any of the other coaches, any of the other people out there that are offering any kind of speaking training, giving you less, charging you more. This is at $2,997. It's a huge value, but again, you're doing that today for $497. If you want to do this boot camp, if you think it's going to be worthwhile to you, then go to shibootcamp.com. Be one of the 10. Be one of the 10 today that gets to be part of this amazing, life-changing program and opportunity. I'm telling you right now, what we give you in this 30-day boot camp will change the game for you forever when it comes to your speaking, your communication, your sales, your marketing. It's going to change your social media game. It's going to change your front of the room game. It's going to change your networking game by being a part of this boot camp. Again, you don't get value out of it, you get your money back. Go to shibootcamp.com, join this 30-day virtual boot camp with us. We'll spend some time together in the next month or so, and we'll get this party started. You will, when you sign up, you will immediately receive your first video. So you'll be able to get going with this. Well, listen, there's no time limit on it. Once you receive the videos, you have the videos. They don't go away in 30 days. So again, I don't want you to freak out and think, oh my gosh, I got so much going on over the next 30 days. Don't let that prevent you from taking advantage of the program. But what you're going to do is you're going to receive it all in 30 days. Whether you implement it all in 30 days or not, that is up to you. But I'm going to tell you right now, what you receive in the 30 days, again, far exceeds the investment. So I want to leave you with this. You know, my grandfather that gave me that powerful advice when I was 10 years old that literally changed my life forever, changed the course of my life forever. He passed away several years ago, and I went to do the eulogy at his funeral. Hardest speaking gig I ever had in my life. But prior to his passing, we were there at his bedside up in Tallahassee, Florida, as he was taking his last breaths. And you know, we sat around his bed, and we weren't talking about money. We weren't talking about success. We were talking about the impact that he made in our lives, that lasting impact that he made in our lives, and how extremely valuable it was, and how we would never lose the impact that he made. Public speaking gives you the opportunity to go out and share the things that you've learned in this life, to make that impact. Because at the end of the day, you can't take anything with you when you go, right? You can't take any of the cars, the money, the houses. You can't take any of that with you, right? You can't take any of that success with you. And honestly, yeah, you can leave some of it behind. But what's going to be most important that you leave behind, what people are really going to remember about you, is the impact that you made in their life while you were here. And that impact is everlasting. That impact can have eternal impact. And so I challenge you, take what you've learned here today, do something with it. Join that boot camp. Be one of the 10 that goes to shibootcamp.com right now, and you jump in and take advantage of this with us. Be part of it with us. I assure you, it will be something you'll carry with you for the rest of your life and utilize for the rest of your life. The other thing, when we were sitting around his bedside, there was only one thing that we wanted more of, and that was time. And you all gave some of that precious time to me today, and I love you for it. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Go to shibootcamp.com. For those of you that stuck around to the end, I will be emailing out all of the slides from today as promised to you here shortly. But definitely take advantage of what we're offering. You won't regret it. God bless you all, and we will see you all very, very soon. I'm going to leave this up on the screen for just a few minutes so that you guys can go and take advantage. God bless. We'll see you all soon. Thanks for being here.